Hello, everybody, my survivors. I hope you are doing fine. Today, I want to talk about The Walking Dead, which is, per definition, something that has lost its connection to itself and its past, yet still keeps on pursuing something. So it's like a virus or like a zombie, and it is infective and dangerous for life itself. All right, so um, in my last videos, we talked about how narcissistic family cult is a place of defensive fantasy, of infantile parenting relationships between adult people. And when you get out of this, you find yourself suddenly with yourself and reality. This is a lot to digest, and the danger is to fall into the trap of nihilism then. But since you have enough of fantasy and reality is also your retreat and protection of the narcissist, um, we experience this as a spiritual awakening and are naturally pushed towards individuation via the psychology of Carl Gustav Jung. So, but today I want to talk about another experience and phenomenon that is described as um, this relentless nature of narcissists. They are in some way deflective and relentless. So I have, by the way, diagnosed both narcissism, so to speak, and malignant narcissistic psychopathy without knowing anything about it. When I was operating in this dynamic still, so I was surrounded by this cultish thing without knowing it, I confronted a person and said, I asked, why are you so unempathetic? Why are you unable to reciprocate this empathetic, empathy in general? Um, why is communication not working? Why is there no, what I found out, there is no communication, because real communication, it goes two ways. And, you know, So I filtered out these traits of self-absorption and being unempathetic and indifferent, opportunistic, curious, and all these things. And I asked, where's this coming from? But little did I know that I was in a cult where everybody will just smile and look over this and belittle it and generalize it. And if there is a problem, then it's me. I also asked about the roots of this. So, the parental figure behind the person that I confronted, I asked, oh, in the pictures, I see this person is a vital person that is exploring the world and doing all kinds of things. What happened to the person? Why is the person so broke now? Because something happened in between, something terrible, and I felt this. And I asked all the people who are involved in the cult, and of course, everybody was like, "What are you talking?" Smiling. Nobody understood, or of course, I got no information in this way. Next thing I did was also I described the behavior of a person growing into a healthy social environment, into a family, in a way like cancer would or a fungus would grow into a tree, by infiltrating the tissue without communicating with the exterior. So it's not communicating, but it's growing into the tissue, occupying resources and spaces, disregarding any boundaries, and yeah, basically, um, like cancer, and this is why by the way, I found out that, when we talk about cancer, I don't even want to say the word too often. It's really malignancy, and also in narcissism we speak of malignancy, and Professor Sam Wagnin also speaks about the metastasizing nature of narcissism. Yeah, so there is a lot of um, parallels, and this is also it showcases why what narcissists do is something that everybody does, but in a pathological way. So growth is natural, um, and also the will to grow is natural. It's just the way they do it that it twists and reverses something that is natural into pathology or pathological patterns. So when you grow into some family or in some social structure without communicating with others because you don't know about yourself, you just you are dead. You're a walking dead. Um, this don't hurt yourself. This hurts everybody around you. And this is the problem with narcissists. It's that communication does not work. So the only reasonable thing to do would be to be quiet, say no more words, turn around, and go forever. This is the only way to deal with it. But you can't abandon everybody and the people you love. But you see this um, sickness that is there all around. And this is the challenge of what you're dealing with when you're coming from these kind of structures. Um, yeah, this is it's really um, Walking Dead. It's something is dead there. So how do you relate to something that is not alive but still moving and pursuing relentless some kind of goal, absorbing resources, devouring everything that it can get a hold of. Also from Professor Sam Wagnin comes the dual mothership model, and he also talks about the dead mother, which creates this broken and dead and numb child that becomes the narcissist and the next dead mother. And this is why the cycle can repeat very much, because dead mothers create dead children become dead mothers. And this is very scary. And the problem is, again, that we cannot relate to something that is dead. We cannot communicate with something that uses communication as a weapon. The communication of a narcissist goes their way or no way. And this is, again, the nature of malignant cancer. It grows into a tissue, into a system, into anything, but it does not see a limit. It does not adapt itself to the surroundings. It does not know what it is and where it belongs. It is there with the relentless desire to grow, and there is no limit to this growth. It also feels entitled to rule over others, decide for them, and it's also superior to everything around it. And we see this worldwide. There is a rise of autocratic politicians rising to power, And in society, we see this behavior being rewarded and covered. So these people that act as dead, walking dead, they hide behind the system like this is just natural, like this was how it's supposed to be. We are here to exploit every system. We are the smart monkey mind. So we hide behind the law. We exploit any kind of resource we can get from the system. We will grow without limits. We will overtake any structure because we don't know where we come from. Our communication goes our way or no way. And anyone who will confront us with the truth, we will just deflect it. We will just wait it out because we are numb. We have no real emotions. We have no feelings. We are here to grow, and we can lie dormant for a long time if necessary, you know. But once we can go on growing, once we have another target, we have something to devour, we just grow on. And this is the scary nature of the Walking Dead, of a self-absorbed unit that is not in any empathetic connection or awareness for the surroundings, for reality, for the world, and just there to grow. A virus is also not a living being, okay? A bacteria lives. A virus does not live, but it is designed to infiltrate a living host and use the host's energy to reproduce itself and just multiply. And this is very much like this dysfunctional, reduced version of a human being that is a narcissistic psychopath. The problem is that at some point, I believe we are in a crossroad, you know. So narcissistic psychopaths are getting more and more. We have 1 to 5% in the population, and this is in us to have a huge impact on society, on family, on the whole development of the world. Because when you are very good at wrestling with pigs in the mud, you tend to come out on top because of all your traits, because of your self-absorption. You have no shame, you have no moral compass, you know how to exploit systems. This is why you come out on top. I think we are on a crossroad where we decide whether the invention of the neocortex, of the higher consciousness features, empathy, love, whether this even makes sense. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe we say, all right, this is a species, the empath. The empath is a species that was just a mistake of evolution. Maybe civilization, democracy, real democracy, all of this, you know, the idea of, even the idea of capitalism is not as bad as you might think. If you apply healthy competition to capitalism and you let democracy rule capitalism, not the other way around, it is a system that would work very well. But the foundation for it would be functional human beings that put life in the first place, that put empathy in the first place, and not malignant growth at all costs. So what I want to say is, when it goes on the way it goes on now, maybe it was a mistake of evolution. Maybe this was just something we tried out for a short time, but now we decide to become more like robots, more like self-absorbed, malignant units that, without any moral compass and no connection to the, without no awareness for the whole picture, we just grow. We just want to grow. We want, this is this rageful, self-absorbed, infantile anger. I am here. and I want to grow. I don't care. This is this spirit. Maybe this is what we want. Maybe this is the foundation for the future. Cheers.